What's going on, guys? Welcome to the very first edition of This Week in Tigers Baseball. Yes, this is going to be my new show that I cover all things Tiger baseball that happened this past week. Long gone are the series recaps and previews of every single series, so I can cut down on the amount of videos I have to make throughout the week. A little bit easier on me. So every week, I'm going to talk about everything that happened. Every Friday afternoon, I'll talk about everything that happened in Tigers baseball. These will probably be every Friday afternoon. If there's a day game on a Friday, which typically doesn't happen often, I'll wait till after that game to do it so I can just complete the week. But if not, Friday afternoon, whatnot, I'll talk about everything that happened. This week's kind of a weird week because we only played 3 games. Should have been 4, but one of the games got rained out. Game 2 against the Royals got rained out. So not too much to talk about. But it was an exciting week. Opening day was awesome. Great turnout by the fans. Pretty good weather for all the games except today. Today was kind of the crappy day of the 3, so you can't really complain. Plus, Tigers baseball is back. Largest opening day crowd ever in for Comerica Park history, which is kind of weird considering I was there in 2012 and that was the largest one, and that was like 46,000 people. I wonder where the extra seats came from because it's damn near impossible to find an opening day ticket around here. So let's jump right on into it here. Let me grab my box scores here just so I make sure I don't forget anything for you guys this past week. Opening day was great. The weather wasn't bad at all. Like I said, it was like 56 degrees, 55 degrees. And Justin Verlander's on the bump. And Verlander looked absolutely outstanding through his first 3 innings of work. He looked pretty good. Curveball command was good. Slider change, everything all working. He only had 2 strikeouts, though, for this game. But in comes the 4th inning. And JV's defense kind of screwed him in this game. You know, he was cruising along. 4th inning comes along. And he had already bailed out Torrey Hunter because Torrey Hunter had dropped a Little League to fly ball in right field where he just let it pop out of his glove. It looked like I was out in right field catching it, which is something you'll probably won't see Torrey Hunter do for the rest of this year. And Verlander bailed him out. And Alex Gonzalez, who's done this twice already, lets a ball eat him up right in the 5-hole, gets right underneath his legs, and then he let another ball get past him, which Iglesias would have got going up the middle because he doesn't have any range. So JV's defense kind of screwed him some. And the Royals ended up having a big 4th inning, scoring 3 runs, which would be only 2 of them earned to Verlander, but the only 3 runs they would score this game. And Verlander would end up going 6. You know, he labored a lot. He had a lot of pitches to make because of his defense not making the outs that they should and whatnot. And, you know, it is what it is. It happens. It's early in the year, and it's, you know, write this game off to memory because, you know, Verlander did pitch pretty good for the most part. Defense didn't help him, but what are you going to do about it? It's baseball. You just got to go out there and make your pitches to pick up your teammates. But Victor Martinez gets this game started off early. He hits a bomb off of James Shields, and you think, oh, man, Shields is going to get rocked today. But he settled down, absolutely settled down. And come in the 7th inning, the Royals are up 3-1, and Shields starts to get a little bit kind of crazy with his command, whatnot. Tigers get something going, bring out Aaron Crow. And Nick Castellanos looked overmatched at the plate. I mean, you could tell it was his first opening day ever. You know, young kid, he's my age. And he saw 3 of the nastiest sliders he probably ever saw in his life from Aaron Crow. But Crow ended up, Salvi Perez ended up bailing us out because Jackson scored to tie the game up or to make the game 3-2. And then Gonzalez comes up and who hadn't had a great game at that point. He had made that error, didn't get that ball, which led to a run. So Gonzalez comes up, hits a game-tying triple, and so he made up for that run they lost, game-tying triple. And then we're going to the bottom of the 9th. Nathan comes out in the top, locks down the 9th, easy, quick inning, 12 pitches, boom, out of it. And we'll talk about Nathan here in a second. And Gonzalez comes up. We got Tyler Collins pinch running. And ends up knocking Tyler Collins in with a solid single to left field. They had the infield drawn in, and boom, Alex Gonzalez is the hero. So he was the GOAT for a few minutes because I was giving Gonzalez a lot of crap on Twitter and Facebook. He was the GOAT for a minute, but what did he do? You know, he made a great play in defense, but that kind of perplexed me about Gonzalez. He makes a great play diving, throwing out a runner, but yet he can't get a ball that's hit to him, and he goes right through the 5-hole. I saw him Olay a ball twice right through the 5-hole. Just blows my mind. And but I can't give him too much crap. Rights the ship, gets that game-winning hit, walk-off on opening day, boom, Tigers start out 1-0. Albuquerque looked good. Evan Reed looked absolutely fantastic. I love that little hitch he has at the back end of when he winds up. He comes back with the ball like this, and he kind of like sticks his arm out for like an extra second, hitches, and then comes darting across his body. That's got to be hell on right-handers, especially as such a nasty slider. I can only imagine trying to hit it. And so, Verlander battles. Defense doesn't help them, but Tigers still prevail. Great pitching all throughout the day, and you got to tip your cap to James Shields because he looked good too. And then Game 2 was rained out, so Scherzer gets bumped up a day. And Scherzer comes out in the first inning, and his command looks awful. He throws like 20 pitches in the first inning. But all of a sudden, he just righted the ship. He ended up going 8 innings, giving up 4 hits, no earned runs, 7 strikeouts, 1 walk. After looking abysmal in the first inning, I'm like, there's no way Scherzer goes more than 6 innings this game. And he looked absolutely outstanding on the mound. That curveball this year is so much better than it was last year. And it was a good curve last year. The spin on it and the depth, it's not as loopy as it was. It's so much tighter. Left-handers look awful against it. And the changeup looked great. The slider looked great. The fastball velo was right about 95, 96 for a good chunk of the day. I mean, he looked good. The command was good. Had that bad first inning, but looked outstanding after that. And this game was pretty much the Ian Kinsler show. Kinsler comes out, gets his first hit as a Tiger. It was a home run. Tigers go up 1-0. And it was looking like that's all they would need to beat the Royals. But Nathan comes out after looking awesome the day before and blows the save. I'm sitting there. I knew it as soon as he was facing Billy Butler because Billy Butler was there with 1 out and walks him. I'm like, this is it. He's going to blow this save. Alex Gordon comes up, hits a single or a sacrifice fly, Royals score. Blown save, tie game, and Nathan gets the last out. Tigers make a little bit of noise in the bottom of the 9th, can't get anything going. And then Al Albuquerque comes out again, another nice clean inning. Only gave up a hit in 1 inning pitch, but enough kept the lead. And then Ian Kinsler comes out again and singles in Austin Jackson, and Austin Jackson scores from second because Cassidy hit him over to second. He had a nice big hit to get Cassidy over to get Jackson over to second, and Kinsler comes up, and it would have been a double, but split the gap. Is a single because he scored and whatnot. But split the gap between the defenders, and Kinsler was the offense. So this game is pretty much Scherzer dominates, Nathan blows it, Kinsler scores all the Tigers' runs. That's pretty much what it was, and he looked great. And Kinsler's played some really great defense. I absolutely love watching him play second. He's got some of the softest hands I've ever saw. I mean, and his flip is quick, and he's so nonchalant about it, too. So Tigers start the year 2-0, 2 walk-offs in a row. So Baltimore comes in after playing Boston, and it looks, Sanchez comes out, and he hadn't pitched since St. Patty's Day. So, you were expecting him to look kind of shaky. He only had 3 starts in spring training, but he come out, and our first inning gives up 2 runs, but he righted the ship after that. He didn't give up any more runs after the first inning. He ended up going 4, walked 3, struck out 3, gave up 2 hits. I mean, that's fine. I mean, you're talking about a guy who only had 3 spring training starts. He did his part, kept the Tigers in the game. But this game was the best offensive showing we saw from the Tigers yet this season. After the Orioles got up 2-0 quick, Cassidy has a nice double, and Cassidy, man, I love his inside-out swing. The way he could take the ball line to line, gap to gap. I mean, I've already saw 3 singles from him this year, where he hits at the opposite field way, dropping him right in front of the left fielder, going down the right field line. I mean, I love his inside-out swing. Cassidy singles in Jackson to go up 2-1, and then Ian Kinsler comes out, singles in Alex Avila, that's who it was, to tie the game at 2-2. And then Rajah Davis ends up scoring on that play as well to go up 3-2. So Kinsler had a 2 RBI single to put us up 3-2. And then the Tigers didn't stop after that. After they went up 3-2, it was just poured on time. Rajah Davis, who I think he's had 3 home runs in his last 550 plate appearances against right-handed hitters, hits a 3-run shot. And the Tigers go up 6-3. I'm sitting there like, because it didn't look like he squared it up at all. Because it looked like it was gonna be a pop fly to right field, right in front of the fence. But that ball came straight out and went up 6-2. And then Torrey Hunter, who hadn't got off to a great start, hadn't had a hit yet. What's he do? After Kinsler gets out, comes up, pops a dinger. So there's 2 home runs in that inning. Tigers up 7-2. And then Miguel Cabrera comes up and in the 6th inning, singles in another run. And now he's 1 hit away from 2,000. Miguel Cabrera comes up in the 8th. Tigers are up 8-2. What's he do? Boom. Knocks in that first homer of the year. Gets his 2 more RBIs on the day, so he's a 3 RBI day. Gets his 2,000th hit. Think about this. This guy is going to be 31, and he already has 2,000 hits. He's on pace to have 3,000 hits by age 35 season. That is how good Miguel Cabrera is. Completely nuts how good this guy is. 2,000 hits. And he gets his first homer of the season, so everyone that's like, oh, why is Cabrera hitting homers? Why is Torrey Hunter looking so bad? Blah, blah, blah. Quiet now. They showed up. This is just what's to come for this season. Got off to a bit of a slow start. Miggy's looking good, and he crushed that ball. And that wasn't the greatest weather today down there either, and he absolutely crushed it. So, and that means everyone gets free curly fries tomorrow, too, from Arby's. And so Miggy collects his 2,000th hit. Anibal Sanchez doesn't look bad. Drew Smiley looked absolutely outstanding in his 3 innings of work. Ian Kroll comes out, looks really good. And then Jobber Chamber comes out. It's garbage time by this time. Tigers are up 10-2. And, Ausmus is like, all right, I got to get these guys work. Is pretty much what it is. And, Jabba comes out, gives up, 4 hits in one inning, 2 earned runs. That fastball velocity, he touched 94 once, but he was pretty much 89 to 92. The fastball was just so flat. It was just so flat. And it was like he's putting it on a tee and just throwing it down the middle. Guys were squaring it up on him. The slider looked pitiful. And, gives up 2 runs, and everyone's like, oh, well, Jabba's going to be so great. He pitched, his ERA was so much better away from Yankee Stadium. Well, he looked like crap today, I can tell you that. So, pretty much, after the little bit of a rain delay in this game, Tigers bullpen pretty much sealed it up. Sanchez only went 4. Like I said, Tigers bullpen sealed it up. Smiley looked great. Kroll looked great. Chaba looked like crap. Sanchez, after the first inning, shirted up a little bit. He looked a little bit better. Like I said, don't take anything, those 3 walks and 4 innings to heart with him. Sanchez, he hadn't pitched since, I think it was March 12th, whatnot, since St. Patty's Day. So the Tigers are going to take it easy on his pitch count at first. So this series, first week of the season, absolutely outstanding pitching. Nathan looked good, but he had that blown save. Tiger starters were shaky, a little bit of a couple innings here and there, but the starting pitching was outstanding. The bullpens looked better than I thought it would. Like I said with Joe Nathan, he blew that one save, but put it to the back of the memory because that's not going to happen very much. It just happens. And Jabba looked like crap, but the offense looked really good today. You could definitely tell this is an Ausmus run team just by the way the aggressiveness on the base pass were clearly different. People are kind of complaining like, oh, those players are going to cost you runs and whatnot. But I think, I have no problem with the aggressiveness. It's a double-edged sword. If it works, you're going to score more runs because you got guys in scoring position more often. But you're going to potentially run into outs. Castellanos, he ran into a couple outs. He had one on opening day where he ran to second when he should have stayed at first, trying to be too aggressive. He got thrown out today at third because he ran through the stop sign by Dave Clark at third and whatnot. Jackson got chucked out trying to stretch a single to a double. But, I like this. You're not going to hit the 3-run bomb as much as you were last year, even though today they had some 3 home runs. I like this new aggressiveness. Like I said, it's a double-edged sword. You're going to score some more runs because of it, and you're going to run into some more outs because of it. But I like this. I like the way that Ausmus implements shifts more than Leland did. He was 3 for 3. He should have been 3 for 3 on challenges because Andrew Romine got screwed today. Those umpires, Ausmus challenged a play where Romine tags the bag with his foot and then loses the ball on the transfer. And they still called the runner safe when he clearly had already touched the bag with the ball in his glove. And then he dropped it on the transfer, and they called him safe. So apparently instant replay doesn't get the call right. So, I don't know. And they came up with some BS reason about the transfer was unnecessary, some BS, some crap to cover their ass. It wasn't true. He was out, but I'm not going to cry over spilt milk because the Tigers won 10-4. So it was a call that doesn't really matter. But could matter in a game that's close. Imagine if the Tigers lose by a run because of that inning. I would have been pissed coming on here. But this week, great week, good starting pitching. Nathan, good. He had a bad outing and a good outing. The bullpen, for the most part, looked great. Offense looked pretty good. Definitely tell the difference already between an Ausmus managed team and a Leland managed team. 3-0. And preview this upcoming week. We got Baltimore for 2 more games, Porcello and Norris, Verlander, Tillman to finish off the homestand. Then we go out to LA, Scherzer, Herron for game 1, Sanchez, Hyun-Jin Ryu for game 2.